My parents raised me in a way to really look out for others and to help others when you can. And if you have the ability to help other people, you should. I wanted a break from Western medicine and decided to go to Vietnam. I didn't really intend to do much volunteering there, but stumbled upon an orphanage right when I got there and spent the rest of the year there. And then very quickly learned that in a short period of time, with the skills I had, that I could make a difference. The majority of Vietnam is poor, and their access to health care and doctors is quite limited. If they get sick, they have to go to a local clinic, and it's really up to the doctor there if they're going to send them on, but there's really nothing at the local clinic. I really feel like it's our duty to help out, and I'm always going to feel that, and I'm always going to do that. My name is Josh Solomon. I'm an intensivist at Rose Medical Center, and this is my story. I do two things here. I'm an intensivist, so I work in the ICU, both days and nights in the ICU, working with the critically ill, and then I also do pulmonary consultation. So people with lung disease on the floor, the hospitalists want us to see, I'll come see them in consultation. So those are my main roles. I work in this setting for 9 months out of the year, so I get 3 months off. Unfortunately, all my vacations are that 3 months, and there's nothing about going to Vietnam that's a vacation. It was actually at the end of my residency it took me to Vietnam. I bought a one-way ticket to Ho Chi Minh City, didn't have a hotel, didn't have a map, thought I could just backpack around the entire country, so I didn't know anything. Then went to Vietnam. I actually ran into some people who had been over there for a couple years from Australia who had been doing charity work, and they really got me hooked in it. They were at that orphanage right before I got there. They devoted their entire lives to it, and seeing the devotion they had and the impact they had was really amazing. At the orphanage, there was a young girl named Han. You know, there's different types of cerebral palsy. She had kind of this hemiplegic cerebral palsy, and it was fairly severe, and she sat in a bed all day. And so every day I would take her out. There's a swing out in the courtyard. I would take her out in the swing. We'd swing. I'd walk her around and communicate with her. And after about 3 weeks, when I came in the front door to see her, she would turn and look at me. She'd turn and look at me in the door and smile, which she didn't do much of, and then kind of try to walk away to me, and then I would walk her outside, and she'd smile and was upset when I was leaving. If I can do that in 3 weeks, what could I do in a year? What could I do in 5 years, especially with more resources? And started developing projects in collaboration with another charity. The purpose of the Hoi An Foundation is to provide high-quality health care to the disadvantaged in Vietnam. So we targeted 3 basic areas, and those areas are pediatric HIV. HIV is really not managed in children. There's no medications for them. There were no clinics to help them, and they were really shunned by society. The second group was kids and adults who needed heart surgery. So there's a lot of congenital heart disease and acquired heart disease. And if you need a surgery in Vietnam and you don't have the money to get it, which most people don't, then you die of that disease. And then finally, we started noticing that hypertension and diabetes were quite prevalent and really not managed. And so we started training doctors to manage hypertension and diabetes. We wanted to work in the pre-existing structure, and we want to train them to do it in their own settings. We train them, and that empowers them to do it in the future. So it's really more sustainable change. We've had so many people help us. I have people who go over and work over there in the clinics. I have support over here in the state, both from my family and friends, and it's amazing. If someone came to me with an itch to do something charitable or a desire to help, I would tell them to pursue it, and I would tell them to pursue it aggressively. And if everyone does a small part, then obviously we can make big change. My name is Josh Solomon, and that is my story.